And welcome back to Talkin Sports. I'm your host, Andrew. This is my co-host on virtual this time.
Hey everyone, it's Miles Shield. How you doing?
Yeah, we are back with another episode. So let me give you a quick rundown of what we got going on today. I'm going to start us off with a little news episode, or segment, excuse me, not news episode. What am I talking about? I got a couple stories that I want to talk about. Then I'm going to be reviewing the NL and ALCS. We are 2 games into each series. And right now, both series are being dominated by one team in particular. And we'll finish this episode out by recapping week 6 of the NFL. So going ahead and starting off here with our news episode or segment. Why do I keep saying episode, Miles? Why do I keep saying that? I don't understand
I
why.
have no idea.
Anyway, some manager positions have opened up in the MLB so far, and we got quite a few teams that have opened up here. First, we got the San Francisco Giants. They have fired their manager Bob Melvin, and apparently they kind of want a new voice in that dugout. The Minnesota Twins fired their manager Rocco Baldelli. The Texas Rangers announced that Bruce Bochy will not be returning. The Orioles fired their manager Brandon Hyde early in the year. The Angels have announced that Ron Washington will not be returning to the manager role. The Rockies fired Bud Black. The Nationals fired Dave Martinez early in the year. The Braves have announced that Brian Snitker will not be returning to the manager position, but he will be taking on an advisory role. And it sounds like everything else is pretty much set for managers. Oh, excuse me. The San Diego Padres are searching for a new manager as well. They have dismissed Mike Schill, and Mike Schill has retired. Miles, any thoughts?
Yeah. I did just see the newest alert is that the Orioles interviewed Albert Pujols, future Hall of Famer, for their manager role. So have the Angels. So I think the hot target right now for MLB managers is Albert Pujols, which could be a very interesting storyline.
Yeah, definitely. I saw that too, actually. And I also saw the Angels might be interested in Tim Salmon. He's a former player for the Angels, former All Star. I think I saw that too as well. So Tim Salmon's also in the running to be a manager for the Angels as well. I also saw that the Cardinals might be looking to find a new manager. Like, there's several teams that have vacant positions for their manager, like the Mets, the Marlins, the Phillies, the Pirates, the Cardinals. All their managers are set to have contracts expire. I think the Dodgers as well. Dave Roberts' contract is set to expire this year. I expect that he'll be re-signed, no doubt. But those are some of the managerial positions that are up for grabs right now. I also saw that AJ Ellis might be interested in the Padres job, former MLB All Star for the Padres as well. So I've seen some of the rumors there. Next up, though, we got to talk about the NBA now, going over to talk about the Kings because they have just signed Russell Westbrook to a 1-year deal. I believe it was a 1-year deal, if I'm correct, but Russell Westbrook is expected to be coming off the bench, I believe, for the Sacramento Kings and add a bit of depth to that team. Miles, got any thoughts?
Russell Westbrook, you gotta love him. He's been a face of the league for so many years now, and him signing with the Kings is going to be very interesting. I'm going to be interested to see how much playing time he actually gets. I expect to see more of like a Chris Paul in the Spurs role for him, where he's passing the ball more than he's scoring the ball, and that's what I expect to see, especially when they also have another veteran guard in Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, I agree. I also saw that he might be going. He was like probably a hot target for the Nuggets. Excuse me. I'm pretty sure they were targeting him as well. But I wonder what happened to those rumors. Moving on though, staying with the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks announced that they have signed Giannis Antetokounmpo's younger brother, Alex Antetokounmpo, to a two-way contract. So now the Bucks will have 3 of the 5 Antetokounmpos on their roster now, joining Thanasis and Giannis on the roster. I think that's kind of cool because now you got this will be the first time I think that an NBA team has 3 brothers on one team, and there's still room that the Bucks probably could sign the other two, Francis and Costas, to contracts if they want to. What do you think, Miles? Though?
This is a move to make Giannis happy.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
it's not a win move. It's not going to impact any games whatsoever. It is a move to keep Giannis in Milwaukee. every week now you get an alert on your phone if you have CBS or ESPN alerts, and it's always about Giannis wanting to move. It's never Giannis himself saying it, but all it is, this second something comes out, people want Giannis out of Milwaukee. The only people who want Giannis in Milwaukee are Bucks fans. And this shows that the Bucks are actively trying to keep Giannis happy, keep him there, and this shows that they are trying to surround him. Maybe not surround him with the team to win a championship, but keep him happy enough where maybe they have another shot at a championship.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that I've seen some stuff where Miles Turner, the new center for the Bucks, is like he's kind of embraced the city a little bit more, and I really like that move in the offseason because instead of having an injured Damian Lillard, who he was great, we love Damian Lillard for all the things he did in his short time, but Miles Turner really has kind of taken on this culture. Like I've seen a couple posts, like he's like talking about the food, talking about the scenery too. So I feel really good about that signing in my book. Next up, though, this is a little bit older news, but I feel like me and Miles probably should give a take at least. I feel like Miles might have more of a take than I might. But Bad Bunny has been announced that he will be performing at the Super Bowl this coming upcoming year in the Super Bowl halftime show. Very interesting choice for an artist to do the Super Bowl halftime show. Miles, what do you think of this, though?
This is a interesting move for me. I'm a little bit shocked by it, but at the same time I'm not. The NFL has been wanting to embrace the world. They want different countries to watch it. They want the NFL and football to be spread across the world. I should say American football to be spread
Yeah.
across the world. And this is the perfect guy if you want to really share the talent with the rest of the world. Because, I mean, this is one of the biggest Hispanic artists ever. And Bad Bunny is loved by people all around the world. He's a huge global sensation. You can see that this era of what the NFL is trying to do has been international, and this shows that they're still running heavy with this. So I like Bad Bunny. I've seen the SNL skits he's done are hilarious. He's a great
Yeah.
guy, good music. This will definitely be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. I talked about it with some of the my friends at my school, and they were a little bit surprised by it too. And some of them actually weren't like really surprised. Well, actually, they were more like, "Oh, really? He's doing it?" I don't really like that. I was kind of surprised to hear that there was a little bit of a negativity around that. I don't know if they may have been in the minority, but I'm definitely very shocked by Bad Bunny getting the Super Bowl halftime show nod. And finally, to wrap up the news segment here, the NHL is underway, the 2025 season, and so far, the Florida Panthers, last year's champions, defending two-time champions, the Florida Panthers are currently having the best record in the NHL right now. I'm not a hockey guy. I don't know if Miles is at this point. We have some friends that are hockey guys, but the NHL is underway. Maybe the Panthers so far are looking primed to get on a three-peat. The Chiefs didn't repeat. Maybe the Panthers are going to be the ones that repeat. So we'll see how the NHL continues to go. But looking now, moving on to talk about the NL and the ALCS, starting with the ALCS here between the Mariners and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are the number one seed, and the Mariners are I believe the two seed. Am I right? Two seed, right? Uh, Miles, am I right? I think.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I think I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, either way, so far the series is now in its third game as of recording. It's currently underway in Seattle, and so far the series has been a bit of a thriller because you have the Seattle Mariners, the underdog, if you will, heading into Toronto and beating the Blue Jays 2-0 in to start off the series. So the Mariners heading back to Seattle tonight have a 2-0 lead over the Blue Jays, and that's actually kind of similar to the Dodgers and Brewers, which we'll get to in a second. But so far, looking at some of the scores, it has just been kind of lopsided in a way if I'm looking at it here. Because, I mean, the Blue Jays haven't been able to really keep up with the Mariners. I mean, the Mariners have been able to really out hit the Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays, like one of the things I talked about in the last episode that Miles unfortunately wasn't here for the Mariners, it was can the pitching stop the Blue Jays? And I would say so far, I think it has. I mean, the Mariners been able to hold on to those leads, but I'm actually looking at the score right now, Miles. It's 12-2 Blue Jays in the top of the seventh.
Jeez, that
Yeah,
is that is crazy.
yeah. The Blue Jays scored 5 runs in the third, one in the fourth, two in the fifth, and four in the sixth. So as I was saying, the key to success for the Mariners was can they stop the Blue Jays? At least in Game 3, I don't think that's been the case. But beyond Game 3, I think that so far the Mariners have been able to hold it down very well over the last couple days. And then heading over to the Dodgers and the Brewers, I mean, as Brewer fans, we are not in a great place right now. I mean, for Game 1, it was a 2-1 loss, a heartbreaking loss to the Dodgers at home. And then last night, it was a 5-1 loss. Man, it's not been good. And so far, we're seeing a little bit of a trend because you have the road teams going up 2-0 in each series. Technically, the underdogs going up 2-0 in each series. Miles, do you have any thoughts on any of the baseball you're seeing so far?
Well, the Brewers have been a little disappointing. The first game was the glimmer of hope we got was right at the end. And sadly, we couldn't do anything with bases loaded. But, it's been disappointing hitting wise. And I think this shows the lopsidedness of this league, right? If you look at the pitching rotation for the Dodgers, right? I'd say that whole pitching staff could be number one pitchers somewhere else. The Dodgers have so much money, and the Brewers are just scrappy and fighting. The fact that these games are even close, you have to respect it from the Brewers.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to point something out here, at least for the Brewers here, because in all the games they've won, the Brewers have been able to score a lot off the pitching. And the thing that I noticed is that the Brewers are able to consistently limit the amount of runs, at least. Like Game 4 against the Cubs was kind of an outlier. You had a 6-0 victory for the Cubs. And so far, we've kind of seen a blemish for the Brewers being 5-1 last night against the Dodgers. But before that, before Tobias Myers and Grant Anderson and Robert Gasser came in, it was pretty close. I mean, it was 3-1. I mean, Freddie Peralta had given up two solo home runs and an RBI single. And in Game 1 against the Dodgers, excuse me, I mean, I think it was just a couple home runs. Like Teoscar Hernandez hit a home run. Actually, that was last night. But the Brewers pitching has been able to limit the amounts of runs when the elite arms are on the mound. It's just the offense hasn't been able to wake up. So I think going forward, that's going to be the key to the Brewers' success. Can they get the offense going? But Game 3 will be tomorrow night, 5:08 Central Time in Los Angeles. So be ready. I believe Jacob Mizorowski might be on the mound tomorrow night against the Dodgers. It would be crazy to see. I don't think Kershaw's on the roster, but I think if it was Miz versus Kershaw, that would be an epic series, especially with Kershaw retiring at the end of this year. But moving on to wrap up today's show, we got to recap Week 6 of the NFL. So again, how it's going to work, I'm going to read off the scores. Miles, he's got whatever he's got drawn up over there on his studio. I'm gonna ask him if he's got anything to add, and if he does, he'll add it on. But regardless, we'll just go game by game. You good with that, Miles?
Yep.
All right. Starting off with Thursday Night Football. Whew. This was an interesting game, I will say. We have the Eagles versus the Giants, and the Giants in New Jersey would end up upsetting the Eagles 37-17.
34-17.
Oh, sorry, did I say 37? I meant 34.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay.
But either way, crazy game. What do you got, Miles, on that? Because I know you probably got something.
Of course I got something. I always got something. This is a game where I expected it. You can look back at Andrew and I were in a pick'em league. I was the only one to pick the Giants. This is something that I expected to happen. I expected Jackson Dart to do well and Cam Scadaboo. I said it before the draft even happened. He was one of my top players to watch was Cam Scadaboo out of Arizona State. Scatterboo had 19 carries for 98 yards and 3 touchdowns. And now let me put it over to the Eagles rushing yards. Saquon Barkley, who is considered one of the best running backs in the league, he had 12 carries for 58 yards, 0 touchdowns. Wow. Those comparisons are insane. But then you also have a guy like Jackson Dart. He completed 17 of 25 passes for 195 yards and a touchdown. His top receiver was Wan'Dale Robinson, who had an absolutely insane touchdown. I don't know if you saw it, Andrew, but I was I was just starstruck in what I saw because he not only made the catch on Jackson Dart's running throw, but he juked all the defenders and scored. It was an impressive play and an all around great game from the New York Giants.
Yeah, I don't think I did see that, but I mean, based on just what you described to me, I mean, sounds like a pretty insane catch if I just from what I'm hearing. But yeah, Giants 34-17. I think it's time to say the Eagles fans are right to fire Rick Pitullo. I would say it's
Yeah.
probably time. Didn't you say in the last episode we did together that the Eagles don't deserve to be 4-0? I mean, look at this. They
Yes.
they lost 2 games in a row. They lost to the Broncos and now they've lost to the Giants. And the Giants, I don't think are quite as good as the Eagles. I'm just saying.
I this is something I expected to happen. Saquon is having a down year, and Jalen Hurts is really looking like the overrated quarterback he is. So that's my hot takes right there.
That was your Shield Spicy situation, if you want to say.
No, those are just hot takes.
Oh,
But that's everything I say on this podcast. It's a hot take.
okay, okay. Moving on, we have the Broncos versus the Jets, somehow also in New Jersey. Don't know how that really works out. Was that game in Was that game overseas or is that in New Jersey? I actually kind of wonder that. I'm gonna make sure that where was it? I'm looking. I can't find it. Anyway,
Yeah, that was overseas.
oh, it was okay. So anyway, this would kind of be a snooze game. Broncos would end up winning 13-11. I don't think you really have anything for that, Miles, because I don't expect anything like any stats at all.
Well, no. Besides the fact that my guy Justin Fields was sacked 9 times, I have
Ooh,
nothing to say.
yeah. Yeah. The Jets are 0-6 now. That's definitely not good. Do you
Yeah,
think do
I
you,
think you could see a guy like Brees Hall getting traded at the deadline.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's not doing much in New York. The Chiefs might be coming to call about Brees Hall. I would agree. That's definitely a possible outlook. Moving on, we have the Seahawks versus the Jaguars. Two very surprising teams so far this year, at least for me. I don't know what people thought about the Seahawks, but um, two very surprising teams for me. The Seahawks would end up holding on in Jacksonville to beat the Jags 20-12. Anything you got there?
Yeah, I would agree with you that these are two surprising teams and two quarterbacks who really have been balling out. Both Darnold and Lawrence, both respectively, had 2 touchdowns. And honestly, the rushing game was non-existent for either of these teams.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't because the running backs are bad, because Kenneth Walker and Travis Etienne have been having good years. It's just been Lawrence and Darnold were just balling out. Lawrence had 42 attempts and Darnold had 27, right? Jackson Smith-Njigba had 8 receptions, 162 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, that's pretty big stat lines overall for those receivers. Moving on, we have the Chargers versus the Dolphins. Got to feel the Dolphins fans, but this was kind of expected. This is what you kind of got yourself into. The Chargers would end up holding on at 29-27 in Miami. Anything you got there?
Well, this is the game that everyone's been expecting Lad McConkey to have. 7 receptions, 100 yards, and a touchdown. He looked like the number one receiver they're hoping he can be. Now, on the Dolphins side of things, Tua, who's been struggling with interceptions, threw only 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. Devon Achane, though, 16 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. So I don't know what to say. But then I don't even know what this guy's name. Kamani Vidal, 24 years old. He was the third string running back on the Chargers, had 18 carries for 124 yards. So this was a game that was pretty disappointing that the Dolphins couldn't pull out a win here, but I think you're going to see Mike McDaniels go kind of quick here, especially with Brian Callahan already being the first cut of the season. I think Tua is on the chopping block as well.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty big, high-scoring game overall for that game. Moving on. Oh boy. Shield your eyes away, Ravens fans. Rams versus Ravens in Baltimore. 17-3 victory for the Rams. Oh boy. The the Ravens really need Lamar Jackson back in there, don't they?
Yeah, Cooper Rush hasn't tossed a touchdown yet, and he's 4 interceptions in. It's disappointing to see from the Ravens, but this is just poor performance. 1-5. The Ravens may not make the playoffs this year, and that's something that no one expected.
Yeah, definitely. And their defense that has been so good these last couple years, definitely has not been it this year. In fact, they've been the thing that has not been it this year, if you will.
Yes,
Did that make sense? I guess.
I get.
Okay, you get it. Okay. Yeah, Derrick Henry did have a solid game though. 24 carries, 122 yards. That's not a terrible game for Derrick Henry, and he didn't have a fumble either. So
Right.
I guess that's one improvement for the Ravens fans. Moving on, we have the Cardinals versus the Indianapolis Colts and Indiana Jones. The Colts would end up holding on 31-27. Man, there's a lot of close games this week. But the Colts ended up holding on, moving to 5-1 on the season, while the Cardinals have dropped 4 straight games. Miles, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, Daniel Jones has looked absolutely phenomenal. 2 touchdowns and only 1 interception. Are you kidding me? This is not even the same quarterback. This is a quarterback who, quite honestly, is going to win Comeback Player of the Year and could very well be a top 5 candidate for MVP. Now, I will say, Jacoby Brissett had a good game. 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. That is a good game from Jacoby Brissett. But when you got a guy like Jonathan Taylor, who had 21 carries at 123 yards and 1 touchdown, I mean, the fact that the Colts' run game is so dominant, and then your pass game with Daniel Jones is just as dominant, you have to be pretty happy.
Yeah, definitely. And one guy that's kind of been maybe flying under the radar is Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end. In this game, 6 receptions, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Tyler Warren's been legitimately a top 5 tight end in the league, I would say. Probably comparable to what Brock Bowers did last year, I would say, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, and I see Bears fans, I just love to laugh at them because they took Colston Loveland over Tyler Warren, which was one of the biggest shockers of the first round, besides Shador falling out of it. I mean, it was huge that they did not pick Tyler Warren, and now Warren is on the 5-1 Colts, and we are just continuing to see domination.
Definitely. Moving on, Cowboys fans. Again, you didn't deserve to tie with us. You suck. We have the Panthers versus Cowboys in Carolina. The Panthers would end up getting another victory, 30-27 on a walk-off field goal. Man, this was a pretty insane game overall. What do you got though, Miles?
Again, I said it. I said it. The Panthers are not as bad as people think. I've tried to make this clear. Bryce Young, 17 completions out of 25 attempts, 199 yards, 3 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. Rico Dowdle, though, he has been the biggest storyline of this Panthers team. He had 30 carries, 30 for 183 yards. Then he also led the team in receiving yards with 4 receptions at 56 yards and a touchdown. He's been unstoppable these past 2 games, and I don't even know what to say because Chuba Hubbard's coming back, but Rico Dowdle coming back, playing his former team, absolutely crushed them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, earlier in the year it was Javonte Williams who was stealing all the highlights, but now Rico Dowdle. Did Rico Dowdle have more carries this week than he did last week? I,
Yeah,
oh my goodness, yeah, that's insane. Anyway, moving on, we have the New England Patriots versus the New Orleans Saints. Two new teams. See what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna just continue on. The Patriots go into New Orleans and beat the Saints 25-19. And I talked about it last week on this show, but Drake May looked really good last week. He looked really good once again this week. Miles, what do you got?
Yeah, adding on to Drake May, 18 uh, completions, 26 attempts, 261 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Drake May has really taken a second step. And honestly, from from all the with all the talk of who was in that draft class, Drake May has really stood out and taken that step. And you look at the Saints side of it, Spencer Rattler has not been bad at all. He just can't score touchdowns. And this whole Saints team cannot score a touchdown. And he had 227 yards, no interceptions, no touchdowns. He's not playing bad ball. Alvin Kamara just isn't there, and the Saints offense is just not powered enough.
I mean, yeah, realistically, you're right. It's basically Rattler and Chris Olave doing all the heavy lifting, and not really coming up with much to show for it. But that's just quite a shame for the entire Saints organization. Moving on, we got the Browns versus the Steelers. 1 week removed from Joe Flacco, the Browns are, but the Steelers would end up getting the victory 23-9. Miles, what do you got?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is looking like a prime Aaron Rodgers. He passed for 21 of 30 attempts, 235 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He looked great. He looked very good. And DK Metcalf has been his guy. 4 receptions, 95 yards, and a touchdown. It's been big time for the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, and DK Metcalf.
Yeah, 100%. And Dylan Gabriel, I mean, didn't look like he had a terrible game. I mean, didn't complete a great percentage of his passes, but 221 yards isn't that bad. I would say at
Well,
least first start.
here's a shocking stat. Dylan Gabriel had 22 more attempts than Aaron Rodgers.
I did,
And
yeah.
and the Browns have Quishon Judkins. I didn't understand that. Uh, Granted, they were losing for the whole game, so they had to pass the ball. But 29 of 52 attempts for Dylan Gabriel. That's a lot of passing.
Yeah, 100%. And not to mention that defense for the Steelers is pretty good when it comes to defending the run and just overall everything else, I would say. Next game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Brian Callahan-less Tennessee Titans in Las Vegas. Miles, you got anything?
Besides, the Titans are worse than I expected they were going to be. I knew they were going to be bad, but dang, the Titans are way worse than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, 100%. Genti and Cam Ward both had pretty solid games. Cam Ward had 26 for 38, 222 yards, a touchdown, one interception. I mean, he threw for more passing yards than Geno Smith, and I mean, kind of matched his stat line overall. It's just Ashton Genti really carried the way for the Raiders in this game.
Yeah.
100%. Moving on, we have the San Francisco 49ers. Oh boy. Taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. And it'd be a pretty good game for Buccaneers fans after Fred Warner unfortunately went down with an injury. Not a very good sight for 49ers fans, but it'd be a 30-19 victory for the Buccaneers. Miles, what you got?
Yeah, Baker Mayfield should win the MVP based on how he has played in 6 weeks. 17 completions for 23 yards, 17 of 23 attempts, 256 yards, 2 touchdowns. He has looked phenomenal, right? And Emike Egbuka going down with that injury obviously was huge. But both Johnsons, you had Tez Johnson and Cameron Johnson, two young guys, balled out. And both got touchdowns and both helped Baker Mayfield win. This is a team with a lot of depth, and I think we could see the Buccaneers be Super Bowl contenders with what they can do. Mac Jones passed for 347 yards, two interceptions. He looked a little more shaky, but all around, good performance.
Yeah, 100%. I would say, honestly, the Buccaneers offense kind of reminds me of the Packers offense from last year. Just unlimited amounts of weapons. You got Rashad White stepping up in the run game, and you got Tez Johnson, the other Johnson stepping up when Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Egbuka, they're all out. I kind of relate that to the Packers and their the amount of depth they have, but I think the Buccaneers probably have a little bit more. Moving on, we got to talk about our team, the Packers, in Lambeau taking on the Bengals with Joe Flacco, and it would be an interesting game. Packers would end up taking the victory 27-18, but it got a little stressful at the end. Safe to say. What do you got though?
Yeah, I think it did get scary, and Joe Flacco almost beat us again. Two touchdowns, two touchdowns. We let them complete 29 passes. That's 10 more than Love did. And Matthew Golden did have a good game. 3 receptions, 86 yards. Josh Jacobs, 18 carries, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Packers, they looked better, but still did not look great.
Yeah, that pass rush needs to improve, and the run game did look pretty good. I mean, Chase Brown didn't do much. Tucker Kraft caught a touchdown. Jamar Chase made a crazy catch, double coverage on fourth down for a touchdown. That was an insane catch. I don't know if you saw that one. You probably did, but that was an insane catch.
Yeah, it was.
Next up on Sunday Night Football, oh boy, we have the Lions versus the Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs. Man, are the Chiefs good? Or are they not good? That's it's so confusing for me. Anyway, the Chiefs would end up getting the victory 30-17 over the Lions in Arrowhead. And Mahomes looked good again. Can he just be consistent? That's my question. What do you got though?
Yeah, I think Mahomes looked very good, and he had 257 yards, 3 touchdowns. Looked great. Again, no rushing game whatsoever. So we'll see where this Chiefs team goes.
Yeah, and then you had the big fight at the end of the game with Brian Branch showing Juju Smith-Schuster down. That was a little extra sauce to that game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting moment in that game.
Yeah, and I think Brian Branch got a 1 week suspension. I think that was just upheld today, so he won't be appearing next week for the Lions. Next up, we have 2 Monday Night Football games: the Bills versus Falcons. This was a very interesting game. The Falcons would end up pulling off the upset, a 24-14 upset in Atlanta, and yeah, what's going on in the NFL? Who's good is my question after seeing this game. But what do you think about this game in particular, Miles?
I think the Falcons are one of the most confusing teams in the NFL. They can't beat the Panthers, but then they can upset the Bills. It doesn't make sense to me. And it's not like Michael Penix balled out. He had 250 yards, 1 touchdown. That was great. It was Bijan who balled out. He had 19 carries, 170 yards, and a touchdown. Drake London also balled out. 10 receptions, 158 yards, and a touchdown. The Falcons just dominated. And I want to believe that the Falcons are good. They're just so inconsistent.
Yeah, definitely. And with the Buccaneers kind of controlling that division, I mean, not a lot of opportunities for them to get a playoff spot, but maybe they can sneak into a wild card spot. But finally, hate to see it as a Packers fan, we have the Bears taking on the Commanders in Landover, and the Bears would end up getting the victory 25-24 over the Commanders. The Bears get their revenge after the Hail Mary from last year's game. What do you think about this one, Miles?
I don't understand how the Bears won. I really don't. Jane Daniels, 19 completions, 26 yards, 26 attempts, 211 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. He played very good football, and on paper, the Commanders won this game. But in reality, it was the Bears.
Yeah, and that's words that we don't like to say around here, I guess. But Jake Moody actually made a field goal. Somehow he made a field goal after being picked up by the Bears. I already know that 49ers fans are probably not very happy after seeing that overall. And Matt Gay for the Commanders as well did not look good. Missed a couple field goals. Commanders probably should have gone after Jake Moody. They probably should. Maybe they'll go get Haversick, the guy the Packers had since McManus was down this week. Maybe they'll go do that. You'll never know. But those are all the games from Week 6 of the NFL. Any big takeaways from this week, Miles? Besides, actually, do you have any big takeaways?
No, besides the Giants actually have a future, and that's really exciting.
Yeah, that's a thing. And the Giants probably at this point they probably locked up a offensive rookie of the year, whether it be with Jackson Dart or Cam Scatterbo. I'm hoping it's Cam Scatterbo because that would be really cool to see. What was he, like a sixth round pick, seventh round pick? He was late.
No, he was like a second or third.
Oh really? I thought he was like way later.
Oh no, he was not that late.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah,
I guess
he was
maybe it's
in the
just
middle.
yeah, maybe it's because he didn't have any like big recruitments out of high school. Maybe that was it. But the origins of Cam Scatterbo are insane to where he is now. Those are insane. But
Yeah,
that's gonna do it for us today. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll be back very soon with another episode just like this one. But until then, I'm Andrew.
and I'm Miles.
Thank you for tuning in. See you next time, everybody.
See you guys.